your community.
News.
I am Toby. I went to Sacramento, sat down with Bill Monning, and talked to him.
Hello, Senator Monning. It's good to see you again. And how do you like your new office?
Well, thank you, Toby. It's great to see you again as well, and I'm enjoying my new office. It's the office of, now that I'm Senate Majority Leader, I get to occupy this wonderful, historic office.
Why are the rights of people with disability important?
Well, as you know, Toby, I've been a lifelong advocate for civil rights and human rights, and I consider the rights of people living with disabilities to be also fundamental civil rights, codified in California in the Lanterman Act, which absolutely require that members of the disability community in California be afforded certain basic and inalienable human rights, civil rights that are protected by law.
How can we prove people with disability engagement in the community?
Well, I think the involvement, I know you've been up here with colleagues through the San Andreas Regional Center and in the last 2 days lobbying. The visits to Sacramento, the letters to elected legislators, emails, faxes, all of that makes a huge difference. Our offices catalog every letter we get, every phone call we get. So for people who want to support advancing the civil rights of people living with disabilities, when there's particular legislation, it's very important that we hear from people and that you weigh in with as many legislators as possible.
What can be done to make more jobs for people with disabilities?
Well, the question of how do we create more jobs, we're in a recovering economy now after the recession, but it's still fragile. There are certain employers, as you know, who make a point of hiring people with disabilities. We need to support those employers. Goodwill Industries does an amazing job of helping for placement for jobs for people living with disabilities. But it's a process of education, and I think in our local communities, educating local employers, local businesses, small businesses, large businesses of the benefits of including members of our community as part of the workforce.
I want to be sure that I have a good services all my life. What can we do to keep services strong for people like me?
Well, Toby, people like you are very important, and it is the advocacy for people living with disabilities that is essential to make sure that we have fairness and equity in our budget. The state budget is a very complicated instrument. It's dependent on the health of our economy and businesses. It's dependent on whether we're in cycles of recession or growth. And in my view, support for members of the disability community should not be volatile even if our revenue sources are volatile. So what we need to do is establish, as we've tried to do with the Lanterman Act, fundamental rights, which would include fundamental and basic funding levels to support the programs that are essential to you and your friends and members of the community.
Thank you for joining me, Bill Monning.
Toby, it's always great to see you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you soon at the big luncheon event in San Jose. But thanks so much for being here, and your presence makes a difference, and I always enjoy seeing you. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Hope Services Amazing is all in a day's work.
Visit us on the web at www.topeservices.org.
For more information about how to support and advocate for services for people with disabilities, visit us at hopeservices.org.